have recommended to the European Parliament to consider a concept called electronic personality, like electronic personality. And they said because of artificial intelligence, should it move like that? So it was a very interesting read when I was reading, and I could easily connect yesterday. That's why I thought it's a bit of a premonition conference. Normally you do conference after something happens. It looks like, something is going to come and, you are looking at it. Am I right?
Almighty.
Yeah, so it was very interesting. The first thing, before I could brush my teeth, I started reading this, the mail, because it was casually written that the European Parliament is mulling, a legal thing for AI. So it was one of the conference, one of the sessions. You can't be in all sessions. I'm sure that in most of the sessions, this would have happened. As fortunate enough to attend many conferences in different places, even though I have attended with the tag called Global Conference. But it could be more regional, one or two occasional from somewhere. So, but this GIPC, I would say, when he started in the beginning, I was even wondering whether this is easy ahead of his times, because intellectual property truly was stabilizing only by 2005 amendments. Before that, it was still a confusion. Before that, it was a more academic thing in the books, not in practice. But it was just the early days. And when he was planning such huge conference of 3 to 4 days, I used to think that he is, Dr. Agarwal, too early in his attempt to do that. But also the old adage goes, the early bird picks up the worm in one sense. So the GIPC also stabilized as an institutional thing. And I've been requesting him in last conference or previous that it needs to be documented. It needs to be documented. It should be published print or electronically. A lot of inputs, as you said, sometimes we cannot be attending parallel technical sessions. We might miss something here. I'm sure he has the record. He has the video recording. He has the rapporteurs who are covering. And that way, I would say that I have to thank him personally for, getting NALSA students here to act as rapporteurs. For them, I'm sure as students, they can't afford conferences. And he has been very kind to that, they should come and attend, and not only that, they should come and give present. And that way, his support to my university has been tremendous in terms of this conference. So to conclude, as I said, that it's a great, I would call it an osmosis and reverse osmosis. You try to understand, various viewpoints of academic as well as industry, what they were doing, and bringing in, practicing, lawyers who are in the forefront to get some, viewpoints and to learn certain viewpoints. So it has been tremendous, and I'm sure the next is going to be a decade of GIPC, the 10th. So I'm sure that he will have, not only he has selected a very lovely place, right? So people are going to be little few days before and few days after. That's the kind of venue he has taken. Unlike, Delhi and other places, you're looking at, what is the, pollution, etc. stuff. Goa is going to be beautiful. And I'm sure he will spring in, certain other new innovations in the conference in terms of the content, in terms of, as I said, bringing in certain compendium on this, because this needs posterity, this documentation, not merely as a conference get-together and then meeting in another conference. So that way, I'm sure that the kind of content what has come out of this conference of bringing in various jurisdictions and various points are tremendous, and this should not be wasted. That will be my one suggestion, because Mr. Dhanpatram was telling that you to be critical. So I thought I'm critical to him that why you are missing out on this. That was one. And second suggestion, or the final one, which I want to tell, that little more. Of course, IP is highly patent heavy or always patent driven. But there is also a lot of emerging things. Like, for example, there is a good area of design thing happening in the country. And so he needs to look at a subsection of design law, etc. And what the next one, which I will recommend, will hearten Professor Ganguly. I would also like to see some subsection on geographical indications, which would come, because he is doing a tremendous work as the MHRD chair professor. And so I'm quite happy. This conference is a good blend of theory and practice in a sense. So we are having at least 3 professors, me, Ganguly, and Professor Gudar, sitting down here with all the other industry stalwarts and very experienced people coming and exchanging the views. Thank you very much for this opportunity to talk to you.